Dear students, in this video we are going to discuss about the taper turning method by swiveling compound rest method and tailstock offset method. Okay, how to do a taper turning operation by using the swiveling and the tailstock offset method we will see. Before that, we have seen the lathe parts and the operations of lathe in the previous videos. So in that operations we have seen the turning operation, phasing, knurling, threading, and the drilling operations. So now we have to go for a important question, that how we can make a taper turning operation by using a different method, by using different methods. So first of all, taper turning is the one which is going to used for making the increasing or reducing diameter of workpiece for a gradual that is gradual increasing or gradual decreasing. So in its length, so how much the taper we require, that can make it. So by using the two different types of methods, one is compound swiveling compound rest method and tailstock offset method, we can make this taper turning. Third one, a farm tool method is also used. That is, if a taper, if the conical that the taper is a very smaller one, then we can make a taper tool. It's a form which is in the form of taper, that we can make it. And if you press, when the workpiece is rotating, if you just give a press over that, we can make it the form of the taper. Also we can make us a tool and we can do it. But another, this, if the length is more, if I want to make a taper turning for distance of some more than the 15-20 mm like that, then with the farm tool method is not possible. So that what we can do is, we can make the shape with the help of by tilting the compound rest to the required angle. So first of all, we should know what is the angle which is required. So when a component, we want to make a conical component, that is a decreasing or increasing cross section for a particular length, we should know about the maximum diameter and the minimum diameter, and for the taper distance, for how long it is required. So all the parameters, capital D, small d, and the length L, that three is required for making the calculation of finding the angle of the workpiece. So by using the calculation of the angle of the workpiece, then we can get the same angle in the compound rest method. So the swiveling compound rest method is the one where the compound rest is held over the tailstock, over the carriage, and that compound rest can be tilted for the angle which is going to be useful for the production of the component. So we can see in this lathe machine. So in the lathe machine, we have the different parts. In the first video itself, we have seen left side, it is the headstock, where all the components of the machine control units will be there, and levers, belts, pulley drives, and everything is there, and a spindle which carries the chuck, and the chuck carries the jaw, which will be used for holding the workpiece. So that left side portion is a headstock, chuck, and the spindle, it is going to be rotated with the workpiece. And right side, we can see the tailstock, and the tailstock which is having a hand wheel, the dead center, and the ram which can be moved in and out, so that we can use it for operations like drilling, ramming, boring, etc. in the face. As well as now we are having, these are all the two supports, where a bigger job, if it is there, we can hold on the dead center and live center. In between that, the workpiece can be held. So now this is what the chuck which is having the workpiece on the left side. It is, now we are going to rotate this workpiece. Now, commonly the workpiece is a cylindrical one, then it will be held over there, and it is there. Now the tool post, where the tool post is situated over the compound rest, and the compound rest is situated over the saddle. Okay, so the that carriage, in the carriage, cross slide is there, tool post is there, compound rest is there, everything. So when we need to rotate the tool, so by swiveling the compound rest, we can rotate according to the angle required. So first we have to find out what is the angle required for making the taper. For that, we need three parameters. One is the major diameter, or the maximum diameter of the workpiece or conical shape because we want to make a taper turning operation only. So we need not worry about the entire workpiece, only the area which is to be tapered, that diameter only we need. So the minimum diameter from where it is to be the shape is increasing, or the minimum diameter, maximum diameter is the workpiece or the conical shape, and minimum diameter of the conical shape, that we need to identify. So capital D is the bigger diameter and the smaller d is the minimum diameter. So the formula which is going to find, which is useful for finding the alpha, you can see the alpha here for the entire, for the length of L. So we are going to use the length for L. So that L is being calculated, that formula is going to be used by using the L. So capital D minus small d by 2L, which is going to give the tan of alpha. So the alpha what we want to measure is equal to tan inverse of d minus d by 2L. Then we can find the angle, that is the angle we are going to tilt the compound rest, the same angle we are going to tilt. So then if you move the compound tool parallelly to the tilted angle, automatically you will get the conical shape in the workpiece. So by using the hand wheel in the compound rest slide, cross slide, you can see here the taper turning swiveling compound rest, how it is going to be worked over here. The axis of the tool is moved first, the axis of the tool is moved towards inclined to the required taper. Okay, so normally it will be axis of the workpiece and the axis of tool will be in a manner that are perpendicular to each other now, but now we are inclining that according to that the compound rest is itself we have swiveled for the angle. Then if you rotate by using hand wheel of these, you can get this taper. And second one is by using taper turning can be done by using tailstock offset. This is another method where we are not going to swivel the compound rest method, compound rest, but instead of keeping rotating the compound slide, we are going to shift the dead center for some distance. Okay, dead center, live center and dead center are the two centers which is going to support the lengthier workpiece, we know, right? So when the component or supported in between these two centers, and we can shift the tailstock, we can shift the center for some distance according to the angle required. So we can shift the dead center for the offset distance, that is capital D minus small d by L. That means capital diameter, D is capital D is the bigger diameter and small is the smaller diameter, and the total length for the taper is L. So if we calculate D minus D by L, you can get the offset distance which is equal to the K. That K distance we are shifting the tailstock dead center to some extent, that is offsetting the according the offsetting to the axis. So if it is the offset support, is one support is a live center, another support is a dead center. The dead center is shifted to some distance, so the product itself, raw material itself, when we are clamping or when we are supporting it itself, it will be in a conical manner. That time if you make operation with the help of the carriage, if you move the carriage to and fro in the longitudinal direction, that it will make the taper, the component becomes taper. This is the one thing which is called tailstock offset method. In this case we are not tilting the workpiece, we are not tilting the tool, but we are going to tilt the workpiece. So workpiece is inclined and the tool is normally it is according to the lathe axis, it will be moving in the straight line to the axis only. So the tailstock is going to be shifted, we call it the name, we call it as offset. And after this we are going to discuss about the specification of lathe. So what is the specification? In the sense, whenever we are going to purchase any component, we need to mention with some values, that is some requirements or some specifications. By say, then if you want to purchase a material or machine, we have to mention with the size of the lathe, or we have to say what is the diameter it can hold, or what is the length of the workpiece that it can be held in between the two centers. and the swing diameter of the workpiece. Like this, these are all the lathe specification, where we can see this size of the entire lathe, the overall length of the bed, so that we can locate it in a place. So what overall length of the bed and distance between the two centers, so that we can make how much length of the components can be held in that, and the swiveling diameter, or the workpiece swing of the workpiece, how it will be, and if you have a chuck or spindle there, what is the swing diameter gap in the bed, all the things we have to specify. This is called the specifications. So the specifications of the lathe carries the maximum diameter of the workpiece which can be revolved, and maximum diameter of the width of the workpiece that can be revolved in the gap, and the length of the workpiece, the length of the bed, length of the workpiece which can be kept in between the centers. So these are all the major specifications of the lathe. Okay, in the next video we are going to see about the milling process and types of milling machines which are useful for the milling operations. Okay.